Had a barbecue and a few beer earlier, but that's about it.
We appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Oh, thanks a lot, man.
One question I really want to ask you. You've heard, and I'm sure everyone told you about it, I'm sure you've heard about it a million times, you know, the UFC jitters, the first fight jitters, right? You go, and the way people tell it is the octagon, the crowd, the lights, knowing what a big show it is, that you get that adrenaline dump. You didn't seem to have any evidence of any of that. What did you feel?
I get nervous, man. Like, it wouldn't matter, like, what fight it was. Like, every time I warm up, my legs feel like, you know, like I didn't train. Nothing feels good.
Yeah.
But I think when it's time to fight, I usually have no troubles. I mean, you know, that guy's coming in. You don't know how ready he's going to be, so you got to be ready. And if you're scared or you're acting nervous, you know, that guy's going to punch you in the face and he's going to put a hurting on you. So there's no time for that, in my opinion.
Hey, TJ. So looking forward, what do you see, you know, in your next fight, and where do you see yourself in the next few fights? Where would you like to end up? You know, you've got 3 more fights with the UFC. Who do you want to face? You got a top 2 or 3 that you'd like to see come your way?
You know what? I don't really feel like calling anybody out. I just think...
I'm not saying to call anybody out. I'm just saying, hey, I think this would be a good matchup, you know?
Geez, there's a lot of guys out there. You know, good... You know, I just want to fight exciting fights. You know, I don't want to fight guys that are going to be boring and try to lay on me or do anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, I found, you know, sometimes that happens in fights. I just want exciting fights, man. Whoever the UFC puts in front of me.
Hey,
I just want to keep winning and hopefully, you know, make a lot of money.
Yeah, money's good. Hey, you know, when I hear you talking now, I don't know you personally from before, but I've seen your name around forever because I follow it, MMA in Canada and stuff. And I hear you having this conversation right now, talking about your next fight in the UFC. Is this a dream come true for you, man?
Oh, definitely. Getting a fight in the UFC is, you know...
But even just talking about the next fight and realizing that you're talking about your win on a show, I mean, is it all seem real yet?
Well, it's starting to. I mean, you know, like, on Sunday I was like, wow, my fight's done. It's over. Like, all this building up and all the stress and all that before the fights, you know, finally it's over, and I had a good result, and I'm pretty happy about it. But you know, still got work to do.
So, did you get a chance to watch any of the other fights after yours was done?
Yeah, I watched. I watched Stout and Wyman. That was a good one. I watched. I had to watch Shogun and Liddell. I mean,
yeah.
You know, you know, I picked Shogun to win. I was kind of cheering for him, but you know, I just once I seen Liddell come out, I was like, wow, I'm really getting to see Chuck Liddell. I started to get more excited to see Chuck Liddell fight than you know, any of the fights on the card. You know, so it was pretty awesome. Yeah. Fights were good, other than, you know, the last one I didn't really enjoy too much.
No, nobody really did, and that's a drag. But did you think Sam? I thought Stout won 29-28, 100%. But you know, the internet and every expert in the world is, you know, all these experts are so-called experts are claiming that, you know, maybe Wyman won it. I didn't see it that way at all. What do you think?
All the experts
but many. You know,
what do you think, TJ?
What do you think? I didn't watch the fight closely enough to really go out there on and you know, say who I thought won. I thought that Wyman pulled off the third round.
Yeah.
Somehow after he was gassed, he looked gassed. He looked like he was getting beat up, but he was tough. He hung in there. The first round, I know Stout won the second round, and that maybe they could have gave it like 10-8 or something.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Wyman really looked fatigued, but he was still landing good shots. The first round was the one that I was kind of like, oh, this has turned out to be a good fight, but I wasn't really, you know, watching it too much.
I think Sam won.
I think that's the argument, though, is that
first round,
the first round could have been scored the other way. Yeah. The second round, Wyman did seem a bit gassed.
Sam blasted him in the second round, and Wyman won the third round. But
right.
I thought Sam won the first round because I thought he won every exchange handily. And there was one takedown, but Wyman did nothing with it, and Sam got back up, and Sam won all the exchanges. But I'm going to go back and watch it. But at the time, I thought for sure he won it. But
well, which round was given to Chonin when you were fighting?
All 3 judges actually scored the whole thing differently. Did you know that, TJ?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like they all had different opinions on every round?
Yeah, essentially. No 2 judges had the same round scored. And I found it shocking.
That's really surprising.
Yeah, I thought it was possible even that you'd have a 30-27 because each round you did a little more standing and were a little more in control on the ground, but they all scored it differently. So I found it really interesting. It also maybe is a testament to how exciting and interesting a fight that you had.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, you know, like, they don't really maybe they don't understand the bottom game as much, and they see him coming down with shots, but
nothing landed on you. Yeah,
nothing really landed. I mean, you know, the crowd was in it for me, but you know, like
True.
I see the big shots. I think that could have been it. You know, he was on top a lot. You know, I mean, I watching Rico Rodriguez, Antonio Nogueira. I mean, you know, they gave that fight to Nogueira, even though he won it off his back. So
yeah,
right.
Well,
it all depends on the judges. And
I think the interesting part of that is I was saying this even at the time. I was saying, man, T.J. Grant is dangerous off his back here, and I thought, you know, maybe Chonen's, you know, not as skilled on top. Plus, you're just that you know, that dangerous off your back. But for the future, that might, when you watch it, like I will definitely, I'll email you and get your address, and I'll send you the card so you can have a look, or their score so you can have a look at it, because it might be something to think about for the future, right? It's like, you know how dangerous, you know that you're actually threatening him off your back, but are the judges in the future going to look for that?
Yeah. I mean, my game plan wasn't to fight off my back.
No, I guess not.
I didn't see that first hip toss coming. It was actually kind of, I was like, what the hell happened, you know? But he got me down, and he was, you know, he was strong. He wasn't really opening up much. His whole game, I think, was just to be on top and grind. I don't think he was. If he opened up more, I probably would have swept him or got back to my feet, or, you know, I don't know if I would have submitted him, but there would have been a lot more room for me to work. He didn't really give me that room, so.
I think that's a conscious choice on his part, right?
Yeah, it was a conscious choice on his part to play a conservative top game.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what allowed you to look so allowed you to be so dangerous on the bottom. But I thought it was just a fascinating fight. For people who are real fight fans, that they should definitely go look it up, because you had a great performance and it was a really interesting fight.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to say thanks very much for coming on the show, TJ. We really appreciate it. And just one last thing, I just wanted to see if you might agree, because most people do, that Robin's the biggest douchebag on the planet.
Yeah, he's probably one of them.
Yeah, thanks, man. I knew you were a smart guy, and I knew you'd be in tune with that. So
thanks a lot, TJ.
Thanks, pal. We'll hopefully we'll connect up with you real soon again. Okay?
I'll find you on the underground, and I will butcher you.
Great, guys. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, man. I'll send you that thing. Thanks for coming on.
Have a keys for us.
Bye.
Okay, bye. All right. Yeah, that was awesome. He was great.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he really did have a great fight, and it's amazing to see a guy in his first fight be that comfortable. It was really a pleasure to see.
Yeah, and it's interesting that like you're that aware of everything that's going on, other than, you know, what he said, the hip toss caught him off guard.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, you know, he's thinking about, okay, I'm going to have to try this now, or I'm going to have to see if I can work over here, or the guy's not opening up, and you know what I'm going to try and do. And he's actually thinking some strategy while he's doing it, not just kind of buzzing along through the fight, just kind of freaking out, going, okay, well, you know, what the fuck's going on, right? I mean, he's a seasoned fighter.
This is
I could tell
another day too,
right.
but you know how you can train a goaltender to see the puck in slower motion.
Yep.
Training fighting is the same thing. It slows it down. What we're seeing when we watch it and what a trained fighter is seeing during the time is a real different thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to go a lot slower.
Yeah. It'll appear slower. They'll slow time almost, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Formula One race car driver when they're zipping along. They actually have time to look at stuff.
That is a
whereas if you and I are
example.
buzzing along at 190 miles an hour, all I can tell you is I'm gonna smash into something real fast.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great example.
You train your body to recognize
while
things
we're giving
more quickly.
compliments to each other, that's probably not the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I'm going to have to go ahead and accept that as a compliment.
Yeah.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a very, very quick break.
Yeah,
and then we're going to be right back with the biggest douchebag on the planet, and we're going to have Eddie Bravo on the line. So you're
I'm
watching.
not the biggest douchebag on the planet. I'm like,
you're one of the bigger
obviously
douchebags
considered a douchebag by many.
Hey, I think the fellow that wrote that feedback on thenationalpost.com kind of had it a bit right.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So we'll be right back after this. You're watching No Shit MMA on thatchannel.com, sponsored by Extreme Couture Toronto. We'll be right back.